Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to your prenatal yoga. I hope this finds you well and enjoying today. Slightly rainy, slightly warm, lots of different weathers going on out there today. For some people, a change in weather can change their mood. So if you're feeling a little off today, or maybe you're feeling super bright, then I find the weather often affects how I feel. But welcome your whole self here, no matter how you are feeling. So my name is Emma, and I'm here with you for the next 30 minutes for prenatal yoga with fit mums and friends. You don't need any equipment. A yoga mat is helpful but not essential. And just make sure you're feeling well enough to practice yoga, gentle movement. Today might quite possibly feel a little stronger than the past few classes. So please take that into account and always feel free to contact me either through M Yoga or through Fit Mums if you've got anything major going on, often around the pelvis, that you wish to just talk to me about before taking up yoga or anything else. So we're going to start with a little bit of breath work, and I shared this reading, or this breath meditation, at our practice this morning, the 8 a.m. kind of open level 30 minutes class with Fit Mums, and so I'd love to share it with you today. Now feel free to be sat up as I am. I'm kneeling on a cushion. You can be sat on a chair. You can be lying down, of course, if that is comfortable. First and second trimester, probably still very comfortable lying on your backs. And just make sure that you're comfortable. That's the main thing. If you've got other children with you, you can snuggle them in. Obviously, probably smaller children, but hey, you never know. You can snuggle everyone in. Or if you're sat by yourself, bringing your hands towards your belly. And then maybe gently closing the eyes, or having the eyes just kind of gently glancing towards the floor. And welcome yourself to your practice with 3 generous breaths. So hands towards the belly, or hugging your children, or maybe you've got your pet there. That long breath in and long breath out, knowing that you have arrived in 30 minutes of time for yourself, being aware that it might be interrupted every now and again, either by pregnancy giving you a little kick or by someone else in your home. And today I would love for us to celebrate fullness, abundance. That might be the fullness of your belly right now. The abundance of space that you are gifting to another human being. Might be the fullness of your life right now, enriched by pregnancy. Could be the abundance of questions and answers. Maybe pick one thing, and if you're not sure, bring it back to the physical sense of being. Hands towards the belly, celebrating the fullness of pregnancy, the curves of pregnancy, celebrating the wonder of you. Gently resting the eyes. Take in your next inhalation and allowing that inhalation to be for peace. As you exhale, letting go of tension. Breathing in for peace, maybe peace of mind, peace in your home. Exhaling and letting go of tension. Maybe it's just around the eyes. As you inhale, let's next breathe in for wellness. Whatever that word means to you right now. And as you exhale, release any tightness or resistance in the body. Maybe there's resistance in the mind to sitting still. Again, we breathe in for wellness. Hands towards the belly, and exhale, tightness or resistance in the body. The next breath in is for balance. Invite in the element of balance, whatever that means to you. Maybe it's getting a bit more sleep or a bit more quiet time. And exhaling right from the core of your being, maybe feeling the baby bump draw slightly in as you really elongate that out breath. Again, we breathe in for balance. And exhale from the core of your being, the center of who you are. Inhaling for patience. A good one for now. Exhaling with no rush. Allow that exhalation to take its time. Again, inhaling for patience. Patience with whatever sits in your heart right now. And then exhaling, no hurry, that slow, luxurious exhalation out. The final invitation of this breath meditation. Inhale and dwell in transition. And exhale so you can begin again. Inhale and dwell in transition. Maybe this transition in motherhood. Exhale so you can begin again. Perhaps a line of thought, of inquiry. And then take 3 breaths there. And as you breathe, maybe focus in on one particular word. Maybe it was peace, wellness, balance, patience, or and transition. On your next breath, as part of this breath meditation, again, embracing the curves, embracing and celebrating the fullness of the breath, maybe the fullness of the pregnancy, maybe even the fullness of your day, if it feels abundant in things to do. And celebrate within that the opportunity and the choice that you've made to come to yoga. Okay, let's gently open the eyes. I'm just going to move away from the camera and take a seat. So stretch out the legs if you need to. We've been sat for a little while. Give them a little stretch. Maybe a little point and a little flex. And then before we move, we're just going to take about another half a minute here. And I'd love to invite you into a mudra. Mudra is an energetic seal or invitation with the hands. And we're going to bring them into lotus mudra. So I'm going to bring my hands as if they were coming into prayer. Keep the heels of the hands together, the little fingers and the thumbs. So that hands are open like a lotus flower. And then just resting that almost in front of the chest. And you can bow the chin in for a moment. And take about 15, 20 seconds there. And the lotus is a beautiful flower that grows up and out of the mud. And I often acknowledge this when times are hard or things are challenging, or maybe not feeling like I want to feel. And the Lotus Mudra allows me to see that beauty, whatever that means to you, will always come up. Taking about 10 more seconds there, maybe celebrating the beauty of you, the curves of pregnancy, the fullness and abundance that there is. And then gently pressing the hands together, bringing them down towards baby bump, and then bowing the head down. So just taking a little bow of the head down as we bow down to blessings for the baby. Releasing the hands. Excellent. Well done. So bringing one hand to the floor, the other arm comes up and over. You can bring the hand to the floor and a long, long side stretch here. Back to centre and repeat to the other side. So just begin to gently move the body, open up through the sides of the body. If you've got someone in your home, partner or friend or parent or housemate, they can join in if they wish. Of course, hand down and do one more to each side. And maybe you look down, maybe you look up. Just taking a couple more moments there. And then down to the other side, reaching up and over. Couple of breaths here. Feel free if you want to comment in the section at any time. And then back to centre. Taking the hands together and we're going to roll the hands around. So you can do this in a figure of 8, but I find that really, really hard to do. You can roll the shoulders a little bit. Again, we did this morning in the kind of general 8 a.m. class. And then if you can, take it the other way. It's really hard. Can't do it. Okay, got it. Takes a bit of brain power to do it the other way. We're going to take about 10 more seconds here. I've got to move the shoulders in order for the arms to move, but try and get it into the wrists. Great. And then release that down to give the hands a little shake. And then give the shoulders a little roll or a big roll. You can let the whole of each arm move. Celebrating the movement of the body. So often in life we're trained to roll the other way or conditioned to think that our body has to move in a certain way or look a certain way or be a certain way. It doesn't. If that's how nature intended us to be, it would have made us all the same, and we're not. Okay, let's take the cushion away. We're going to come onto all fours. So we're going to do, actually no, we're going to do this seated first of all, I apologise. So I'm just going to be kneeling so you can see. You can do this on all fours if you prefer. I'm going to bring my hands towards the legs. I'm just going to gently curl the body in. Obviously you'll modify this depending how pregnant you are. And then keeping the chin in for a moment, chest comes forward and head lifts. Just 2 more like this, curling in. Probably more first, second trimester, heart comes forward. Third one here, just a little curl in. And heart comes forward. Just wanted to show you that just in case it didn't feel comfortable to be kneeling. If it feels okay to be kneeling, we're going to repeat that. I'm just going to move my notes over so I've got them. So on all fours, you can have the knees obviously wider apart. Curling in, so kind of hugging the belly in towards you. And then looking forward, letting the chin be the last bit to lead as you move the spine the other way. We've just got 2 more like this, curling in. And looking forward. And last one here, curling in. And then looking forward. Good. And you can keep going. You can press pause if you're watching this on repeat. You can just press pause and do maybe like 10 more. It's so good. Every day, it's so good. Okay, we're going to come into a hip opener now. Now, if you're first and second trimester and you still feel really comfortable on your back, you can lie on your back and do figure of 4 with the legs. Otherwise, we're coming to a pose that's called pigeon pose in yoga. So I'm going to show you side on. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you facing the camera. I think that'll be easier. So I'm going to be on all fours, and I'm going to slide this right leg forward. So the knees behind my, do you know what? I'm going to move this camera a little bit. I don't normally show poses this way around, so forgive me for that. So I'm going to slide this knee forward and then kick the foot out. So I'm going to come up to show you. All right, so we've got the knee forward and the foot out towards the side, hands towards the floor, and then just scoot that knee back and the opposite knee back. So you're lengthening back in towards the hips. I'm going to show you side on as well. Now this should accommodate most pregnancies unless you maybe have twins, or you're very close to the end of your third trimester. You can stay upright here, and I know it's strong into that outer hip. If you wish to, you can bring the forearms to the floor if baby bump doesn't get too much in the way. So I'm going to show you side on, just on the other side in case you're confused and can't see it very well. So knee slides forward, foot across, and we're working into the space of this hip. So I'm just showing you on the other side. You can stay upright, excuse me, or walk the hands forward. So you might feel it, probably feel it around here in the outer part of the hip in towards the buttock. Okay, tuck the toes of the back foot and then kind of just scoot that knee in, the back leg in, and bring the other knee back. Walk the hands back and just take a moment, allow that experience to settle. And let's do the other side. So I'll show you again from this way round. I'm going to scoot one knee forward, as such. It's a little dark in here today. And then I'm going to roll that leg out. So I'm not moving it from the knee, I'm moving it from the hip. Okay, so I'm just exaggerating so you can see. And then I'm going to tuck the toes on the back leg, lift the knee and scoot that knee back. So it's almost like I'm kind of softening through the pelvic floor, softening through the pelvis, allowing that to move towards the floor. You can stay upright as such, or you can bring the body towards the floor. Take about 5 more breaths there. And as you do, I'm just going to put another light on. See if I can brighten this up a little bit. Okay, that's done a tiny bit. So in the shape, I know it's not the most gorgeous of shapes sensation-wise, but just notice if you're gritting your teeth. Can you soften like we did with that breath work? Can you invite patience with your inhalation? Letting go of tension on the exhalation. Okay, let's tuck the toes of the back leg. Scoot that knee in. Bring the other knee back. Back to kneeling. And just take a moment there. So you might feel that on the inner thighs and on the outer hips. You can always do that pose on your back with the leg crossed over. Okay, we're going to move now into a lunge. So this will be, again, dependent on your mobility, your range of mobility, okay? So I'm going to take my right foot forward. Again, you can do either side. You can pad that left knee. And I'm going to take the right foot out quite wide, okay? I'm going to bring my hands to the floor, so hopefully you can see that. And that might be enough, okay? So you should have plenty of space for baby bump, for those curves. My foot is going quite out, quite wide, and I'm lifting through the chest. Now you can see I'm not going too deep into this lunge right now. I'm just giving myself a moment. And you can move a little bit here, side to side. Okay, now if you wish to, you can think of pelvis coming forward a little bit, but no forcing, okay? Remember that the hormonal body will be very different during pregnancy. You can walk the hands forward a little bit or a lot, and let that knee almost hug into the arm a little bit if you've got that. Again, baby bump can draw in, or you can just let that soften. Now, if you have a lot of mobility in the body and it feels very comfortable and baby bump isn't too much in the way, you can bring the forearms to the floor, okay? So it's a little bit or quite a lot more challenging to get this far down. Think of heart forward. And do that only if it serves you, only if it feels good, not because you think you have to. Okay, let's bring the hands back towards the floor. Well done. Let's take that right knee, or the one that was in the front, back. Settle into a kneeling pose for a moment. You might feel the difference between left and right. You can always bring the hands on towards your pregnancy and just take a moment again just to celebrate that sensation, the fullness of that sensation before we go to the other side. Okay, let's do it. Take the opposite leg forward. So we take our time. You can help the foot through. And then I take that foot, kind of move that foot out a little bit wider or a lot wider so you can accommodate your pregnancy. Now you can, I know you won't see my head here, but you can absolutely stay upright, for sure. Or you can bring the hands towards the floor. And I often move a little bit here, maybe a little rock side to side, almost like a dog, just a little wag of the tail there. Getting into the hips, softening the breath. Making sure you've got enough space. And then the hands can come forward. And then I often think of heart forward, so the sternum, the heart bone. We often refer to it, or my teacher refers to it. And then maybe you deepen more, but only if it feels comfortable. So maybe you run, maybe you walk a lot, and this kind of movement is just easing the tension there in the hips. And then again, think of that drawing the baby bump in, and if it feels comfortable, you can bring the forearms to the floor and take just about 2 breaths. There's got to be a softening through the pelvis, softening through the pelvic floor. Ooh. Okay, walk the hands back. I think that's enough of that today. Take the knee back. So lots of pauses today. And again, bringing the hands on towards the baby, towards the belly, and take in a couple of breaths there. Exhaling. Good. Okay, we're going to come up to standing. So however you wish to, it doesn't have to be a yoga way of standing. Just come up to standing. I'm just going to move the camera up. Sorry, a few camera issues today. Okay, so from here, we're going to do 2 poses. We're going to do something called reverse triangle and triangle pose. So the past couple of months has been very gentle movement, which is perfect, what we want in prenatal. But I thought I'd teach a couple of poses today, mainly triangle pose. So I'm going to step my left leg back. Again, you can do either side. My right foot is facing or pointing towards the end of the mat, just in case you can't see me. And my legs are relatively straight. I'm not pressing into the back of that knee. I've got a little bend in that knee actually today, just for ease of the body. Lifting the arms up, and then bring the hand behind you on towards your hip. The arm that's in front, reach that up towards the sky. If you feel any dizziness at any time, make sure you keep the gaze forward and come out of the pose. Lifting up, again, press down through the feet, a little squeeze around the glutes, around the buttocks. Lift up and a little lean back. Third trimester, this might be a little bit too much, so you can stay with the side body long up towards the ceiling. If you feel comfortable, second and first trimester, lift up and back. It's just like a little stretch, side stretch. And now come all the way back up and reach that right arm forward. Okay. From here, we're going to keep that front hip tucking under. I always think of this a bit like I'm a little teapot. So I'm going to keep my hands on the hip. I'm going to take the fingertips forward first of all, so side body stays long. And then bring that hand to the inside, probably of the knee, or you can go further down or further up. And then press that hand into the leg and think of the underneath ribs turning towards the side of the mat. The hand that's on the hip, you can gently bring it onto baby bump, celebrating those curves, that fullness, and you can take it up towards the sky. There's action in the feet. There's a lift up through the soles of the feet. There's a draw in the baby bump in. Well done. Let's come back to center. Stretch the arms out and release the arms down. Okay, and stand towards the top of the mat. And just take a moment there. Feet firm on the floor. Maybe just feeling that difference between the left and right side. Bring the hands towards baby bump. Maybe inhaling patience, letting go of any hurry. Okay, let's do that to the other side. I'm just thinking, what did I just do? I just took my left leg back, so I'm just going to turn around so you can see me, but you can just take your right leg back, or the one you haven't done. So right leg goes back, left foot forward, and we straighten the legs. So remember, we don't want to pop into the back of that knee. So if you're very mobile in the body, you're really conscious of a little bend in that front knee. My back foot is turned in a little bit. So not out towards the end of the mat, but in a little bit. And then with this shape, we want to think of a lift up. So a little lift up through the pelvic floor, a little draw of the belly in, baby in towards you, but obviously not overly in prenatal. It's more just to keep the body kind of safe and within those boundaries. So we lift the arms up and then hands towards the back hip. The arm that's in the front, reach that up towards the sky. Take a long, long stretch there. If you feel comfortable too, a little lean back. And you can look down if that feels best. You can look up as long as you have the balance in the feet. Come all the way back up and then stretch that arm out. Okay. Fingertips draw forward. Again, think of I'm a little teapot. Hopefully you all know that rhyme. If not, you have to Google it afterwards. And then arm or hand on the inside of the leg. So at the moment, I've got my hand on that hip and I'm giving that a little press down and a little press in. Okay, so I can lengthen side body. Give it a little turn. And then either keep the hand there or on the belly or take the fingertips up. So we get this long stretch across the chest. Think of that lift up through the feet, that gentle hug of baby in. Celebrating maybe the fullness of the breath. Good. And then come back up. Stretch the arms out for a moment. And then bring the arms down and bring the feet back together. You can kind of squidge them in. Take a moment there, hands towards the belly, couple of breaths. Maybe that breath for patience, that letting go of any hurry. Good. We've got one more long breath there. Excellent. And then we're going to come to a downward facing dog just once, and then we're going to come into child's pose. So gently bring yourself into a forward fold. Have the feet wide as you need. You can always slide the hands down the legs. And then we take one foot back and the other foot back. If you're not sure, I'll do the pose. The bum is up in the air, the sit bone's up in the air. I'm going to bend my knees a little bit and then maybe just give the hips a little wriggle. Just a couple of breaths there. Feet to the floor, and again, as long as it feels comfortable, back into child's pose. If child's pose doesn't feel comfortable, you can be up kneeling. Just taking a couple of breaths there. Today's class has gone so quickly, I just don't even know how it's gone this quickly. And then coming all the way up to a seat. I thought the clock said 21, not 31. So coming to a seated pose, you can have the legs crossed or stretched out. I had about another hour's worth of content for us today. So just to close our class, in case you have to go somewhere else, hands towards the legs or towards the belly. If you can bring them there, then take a moment to do that. Celebrating today the curves, the abundance, the fullness that pregnancy brings. Take in a moment there. Inhale for peace. Exhale to let go of tension. Inhale for patience. And exhale without any rush, taking your time. Let's close the practice with that repetition of Lotus Mudra. Heels of the hands, little fingers and thumbs touch, hands open. And to close the practice, you can take this above the head in the celebration of beauty, of abundance, and of you. Bring the hands back together, palms gently touch, bow down to you, bow down to your pregnancy, bow down to our practice. Releasing the hands, open the eyes if they are closed. Well done, everybody. That went so quickly. If you have time, feel free to take a moment to lie down. Take maybe 3 or 4 minutes quietly, or you might feel bright and awake and ready to move into your afternoon. So my name is Emma. I've been with you with Fit Mums today, and I look forward to seeing you again really soon. Bye, everybody.